Welcome to another episode of Let's Not Talk About Sex. I'm James King, and today I want to talk about one of my biggest philosophies around sex. And that is that truly great sex doesn't just begin in the bedroom. It starts days and hours before you even get to the bedroom. Now, if anyone's ever heard of the orgasm gap, it essentially shows that in heterosexual relationships, there's a massive gap between how often a man achieves orgasm compared to how often a woman achieves orgasms with a male partner, compared to lesbian relationships where the rate of orgasm has greatly increased. Now, I believe this comes down to a pretty key factor, and that is that a lot of men are unaware what goes into helping a woman achieve orgasm. They think it's going to be a certain technique with their hands or the way that they use their cock. But for a woman, her mind is her most powerful sexual organ. And because of this, if her mind is being taken up and is focused on other things, she can't put that focus into sex and the experience that's happening, which means that she can't let go and she can't relax, which means she's not going to be able to achieve an orgasm. And this is the big thing with men, is they believe women are the same as them. You know, we get turned on and horny within a few seconds and we're ready to go. But for a woman, it takes a lot longer. There's this analogy that, men are microwaves and women are slow cookers. She needs that time and that build up. But if you also look at the average duration of sex, it falls between that 4 to 7 mark. Women on average need 4 times longer to even get to the point of being in the mood. So she roughly needs about 20 minutes before she's going to be able to achieve an orgasm. So if you're like most couples out there where it's like, you come home, you guys de-stress a little bit, help with the kids, clean up the house, cook and all that kind of stuff. You're taking care of a lot of things that you have to put a lot of focus into. And then you get to the bedroom of a nighttime and then you want to go. And sex is just beginning right there and then. And you're getting to the bedroom and it's late and you guys just want to get it over with, go to bed so that you can do it all again tomorrow. And of course, because the timings don't align, the man is most likely going to be able to achieve orgasm, whereas his partner most likely isn't going to. So what can you do about this? Because that's not going to be great sex, because she is most likely going to be left unsatisfied. Now, if you're on the other end of the spectrum where you do focus on making sure she can achieve orgasm, you're now spending another 20, 30 minutes getting into it, which a lot of couples can feel it's quite time consuming, which some couples then don't even bother because they're like, okay, there's going to be a lot of effort that has to go into this. It's already late. We just want to go to sleep. This is where my philosophy comes in, that truly great sex doesn't begin in the bedroom. A lot of men underestimate the power of foreplay outside of the bedroom. And here's the thing, foreplay doesn't have to just begin in the bedroom. It can start with messages, flirting, the way that you touch each other innocently but provocatively. There's a lot that you can actually do so that by the time you get to the bedroom, she's already warmed up and ready to go. Sex doesn't have to be this massive chore or this daunting task where, you have to put a lot of time into it just to make sure it's a good time or neglect your partner. So here's some of my favorite ways of making sure she feels safe, comfortable, turned on, and so that when we get to the bedroom, things are already hot and heavy and ready to go. At the start of the day, she might go to work and I'll send her a little provocative message about something I enjoyed about her, about how sexy she is, how turned on she makes me. Or maybe I'll see something during the day, a meme or some lingerie or a toy or something, and I'll send her a message along with it. Now, say I see a really sexy piece of lingerie, and because she's someone I'm in a relationship with, I understand the type of sex and sex acts that she likes. So I might send her something along the lines of, just saw this and you would look so sexy in this on your knees looking up into my eyes. And that's because the partners I tend to attract tend to be in that more submissive frame and enjoy that kind of role play and excitement. Now, if it's a toy, I might send her a picture of it and tell her how I can't wait to use this on her later. Or for instance, one of my favorite toys is the remote control egg. So when I've spoken about this with women, whether it was we were in a relationship or we hadn't even slept together yet, I would talk about how hot it would be taking her out on a date with this. We'll go to mini golf and I'll keep turning it on and off, and it'll be our little secret. Or even going to the cinemas or an event or a party and talking about how no one will know and how hot it'll be watching her trying to stay composed. Now, if she's someone who is into that more outdoors play and exhibitionism, that's something that's going to really, really turn her on. And if I've sent her this at the beginning of the day, she now has all of this anticipation and excitement and tension that's been building up. Whether I have that toy or lingerie piece or not, it doesn't matter because the tension has been building all day. So when I see her when I get home, we may have been going back a little bit back and forth, and I'm telling her about other things that we could be exploring or could do that night, like how I can't wait to grab her, how I can't wait to see her again, how I can't wait to taste her, play with her, tease her, all that kind of stuff. If I'm sending these messages back and forth all day, think of it kind of like a volcano. The pressure is building, building, and building. So by the time we get home and we're able to start exploring, she is just pent up and waiting to explode. So all that foreplay, that 20 minutes that it usually would take, has already been absolutely demolished and destroyed. So that usual 20 minutes, we don't need to focus on that. Yes, I may need to do a little bit of touching, going down on her, playing, but it's going to be nowhere near the amount it would have been had, we just come home, did all the chores, and then gone into the bedroom and then tried to switch gears. Instead, this has been building up. That's what I want you guys to focus on. So if you're a guy who feels like you lack time or, sex is a bit of a chore to get her off or any of this, and here's a good example of it. I spoke with this guy and he was actually really great at sex, but the only problem he had, and what he came to me about, was the fact that, he was trying to focus on his business. And whenever he would have a girl come over, he felt like he was losing, 2 hours or longer a day because he's like, by the time I have to build her up, by the time we actually have to have sex, he was so concerned about making sure she had a good time. Like he had to make sure she had at least 3 orgasms before she could leave. And it was like he felt if he didn't give her that, then there's a chance he could lose her and all of that. So he's like, it just feels so time consuming. So any wanted to make her have a good time, or at least get to a point where he was comfortable, making sure she only had one. So the advice I gave him was pretty simple. It was just to start turning her on before she even got there. That way, by the time she came over, it was going to be super simple, quick. She can have her orgasm, he can get off. She still has a really great time. He still has time to appreciate her, give her aftercare and all that, but it would greatly reduce the amount of time that he was spending there. And I was also telling him to explain to her what's going on, that he is really focused on work. He has limited time. But just because you have a limited amount of time doesn't mean you can neglect your partner. That's the most important thing. You want to make sure that they don't just feel like they're coming over and you're using them just to satisfy your own needs and then you're kicking them out, right? You're not going to be able to keep anyone around long term. Your wives, girlfriends will want to leave because who wants to be around that? Who wants to feel unappreciated and just used for their body? Now, there is another aspect that I go into about truly great sex not being just in the bedroom, and that comes down to the man who you are. I'm not going to cover that on this episode. This episode, I do want to keep it all around, the foreplay and the anticipation and the build up beforehand. But becoming the right type of man, having the right type of vibe can have a significant impact just as much as spending all that time in the build up. You can do that a lot with your vibe and the emotions you elicit from her. But I'll save that for another video. If you're going to take anything away from this, do focus on the build up, the teasing, the anticipation. And if you're someone who wants to dive deeper into their sex life and you want to have a deeper connection with your partner, you want to have better and more incredible sex, make sure you reach out, follow me on Instagram at I'm James King. Make sure you rate the podcast 5 stars, drop a comment and a review, and let me know if you would want to come on. I'm going to have an amazing lineup of guests starting to jump on the podcast very soon. And if you would like to jump on, let me know what you'd want to discuss on here. And make sure you leave a comment about what you enjoyed about the episode, what you didn't, and what you'd like to see me discuss more on. And if you're a guy that is struggling with your sex life right now and you do want to dive deeper, let me know. Reach out and we can have a chat and we can see where we can go and how deep the connection can go with your partner. Looking forward to seeing you on the next episode.